share the word with others, so just listen as a brother takes us through. The undiluted word is just shared for me and you to grow it through, as the Spirit leads us to. We speak of the Lord, on how shall it be, knowledge of our faith, and praise to our King.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Calledout. My name is Elekema Hiabu, and here we are dared to be different. Right. I have been away for a very long time, and I apologize for that sincerely. And I won't say I'm fully back now, but I'm back for now. Today, I have an exciting information I want to share with all of us, something I think we should all pay attention to, because it's basically what is driving the world today in some sectors or spheres. Right. Getting into this is more of like a battle for me, because people will be like, Elikem, what you're talking about, how does it affect Christianity? Well, I'm going to prove that to you, that it affects Christianity a whole lot, and in a more defined and wonderful way that you probably haven't thought of before. Maybe you've read the scriptures in relation to these things, but you bypass them because you never thought it could relate to a circumstance like I will put it in this video. So if you're interested in that, I want you to stay with us, like this video, share, and comment. Tell me what you think about the video in the comment section. If you know me personally and want to throw shade, maybe you should text me and throw the shades there. Right, without much ado, I want us to get into the topic for the day. The topic for today is networking. And whenever we talk of networking, we can think of computers, right? However, I'm not going to talk about computers today. Networking, if I am to use one word to replace networking, it will probably be connections. Why connections? Because when you're networking, you're basically building and maintaining connections with other people, whether professionally or socially. And there are many benefits you derive from building or maintaining connections with other people. Now, you have to understand that a key component of my definition is building and maintaining. Because if you take the maintenance out of it, they are just like a computer connected to a network without an internet. If you get my point. So you have to build and maintain whatever connection you are trying to build or whatever you're trying to do. Now, there's some benefits you would derive from building and maintaining connections with other people other than yourself. And the first one on my list is you get information. When you network with other people, you are able to get certain kind of information that people may not get because they lack that form of connection with the person that is dispensing the information. The second thing you will get is insight. Right, from the information you get from these people you have connected with, you gain insight on certain things and you're able to do certain things because you have insights of those things. And the last thing is the discovery of opportunities. Through your networking, you are able to discover certain opportunities, right? Maybe you want to give a speech somewhere, maybe you have a project, a proposal you want to, give a certain company, but because of the protocols in place in getting your proposal across, or there's a word for it, I've forgotten the word. Bureaucracy, right? Because of the bureaucracy we find ourselves in this current world, you realize that if you have a connection with someone probably closer to the head of the department you want to present your proposal to, it becomes easy because the person says, I know this person, let me talk to the person on your behalf, right? So that's another function or another importance of networking. Why should you network? I've already started by giving some of the reasons why you should network. However, you should also understand that many of the jobs people secure in our current dispensation is not necessarily through application, but most of them are through referrals. I don't want to jump the numbers or undermine them, but if I am right, about 99% of jobs are not acquired through applications, but through referrals. Now, this does not mean that you will not apply for the job. It only means that you apply, but someone will also recommend you, and because of that person's recommendation, your job is taken over another person's own. So yeah, it all boils down to building the connections with people. Sometimes you even apply for jobs, right? And maybe you don't know anyone, you're not connected to anyone, but on the day of the interview, you talk to someone nicely, you build a certain kind of connection with someone, and you realize that this is a person interviewing you, and voila, you've already gotten your job. And even though you applied and all that, it can be proven that the reason the person gave you the job, aside from your competence, could also boil down to the fact that you have established some form of connection with the person, and the person feels like, well, if you're connected to me, then I should as well give you the opportunity to get this job. We also have to understand that networking is not all about what you can get from someone. It's more of like what you can also give to the person you're networking with. If we realize that it is always one-sided, one person will get frustrated and probably end the connection. So in as much as at a point in time someone will be of help to you because you're connected to the person, you should also make it a focus to also be of help to other people, if not the same person who helped you. Now we are down to the question, why should a Christian network? Why should a Christian network? There are varieties of reasons why Christians should network. But before we get to the why, I want us to get to how a Christian can network. How can a Christian network? There are many ways people can network. I'm going to give you just 4 with probably a bonus. Yeah. The first thing you have to understand about networking is that you must be friendly, because it involves communication. You are building a connection, and in human terms, in building connection simply means communicating, right, in a way that is acceptable. So you have to communicate, but you must be friendly about it. And that's my first point. Proverbs 18:24. It says what? If you want to be friends, paraphrase, if you want to be friends, if you want to make friends, you must first of all show yourself friendly. So you must be friendly in order to be able to network. So be nice to people. Be nice. When you meet people, smile. I'm going ahead of myself. If you meet people, be nice to them. Talk nicely to people. That is one way you can build or maintain connections with people. The next thing you have to understand is be open-minded. Now, I wanted to shelve this point, but I deemed it fit to be in this video to talk about it once and for all, so that I don't give you half information. As Christians, I don't want to make it look like I am attacking the body of Christ. I wouldn't do that for no reason. I love Jesus Christ, and I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize his children or his people's advancement. But I'm going to say this. We must learn to be open-minded. All right. Even Jesus respects our views, our opinions, and when I say respect them, doesn't mean that he has to obey them or has to go according to them, but he respects our will. That is why Christianity is not forced on you. You have to accept it in order for you to, enjoy the good benefits and also suffer for Christ. Right. So you have to be open-minded as Christians. If you are going out there to network, you have to understand that not everyone will have the same worldview like you have. Not everyone will have the same doctrinal understanding like you have. It doesn't mean they are right or you are wrong. It doesn't mean you should accept them or they should accept you. It only means that you should understand that people are diverse in understanding, and all that some people, it takes time for them to understand what you have understood. And sometimes too, it looks like because we have been indoctrinated or we've grown up understanding these things, we've held on to them and we don't want to let them go. So we believe that whatever others think is false, even if they are right. That is very wrong. You have to be open-minded. If you want to make friends, if you want to connect with people, you should be open-minded about your conversation and understand and accept people's opinions about certain matters. Right. The next thing you have to do is to smile and speak out. In talking to people, when you are talking undertone and they have to be saying, you said, oh, what are you saying? I didn't hear you. It makes the conversation boring. And not just boring, but it makes it not interesting. So people tend to end the conversation, make it short, and that is bad impression. Nobody would want to be in such a situation. So when you're speaking to people, trying to create acquaintances or whatever, you should be outspoken. It boosts your confidence level. So you should be outspoken and smile. Right, I know it's not always easy, but no matter what you are going through, no matter what people have done to you throughout the day, when you meet new people, don't pour your hand on them, smile. Be nice to them, smile, so that they will be comfortable talking to you. And the 4th point is respecting boundaries, both yours and the person you are trying to build a connection with. Boundaries. This is because as a Christian, if you are going to, at the ending, I'm going to tell you the overall motive of building or networking. So if you are going to network as a Christian, you shouldn't say because you are going to network, you should downplay the importance of upholding your morals. You should value them so well. You shouldn't leave them in the ditch because you are trying to create new friends. No, that is more of like turning your back on Jesus and your face to someone new. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. So, right, respect your boundaries. Respect your boundaries. You may not want to talk in a certain line of conversation. You shouldn't go there just because you're trying to network. Don't do that. Don't do that. Respect your boundaries. And this is very important. In fact, I feel like it is the most important on the list for me, because I'm talking about how Christians can network. So it's the most important for me, respecting your boundaries. And that means that what valuing not throwing away God's standards, sticking to them, at the same time networking. And the bonus point is that dress nicely and smell nice. That way your confidence is up there and you are able to talk to people on a more comfortable level, if I should say. Why should Christians network? First of all, for the sake of the gospel. Calm down. You can't preach the gospel to someone you've not built a connection with. And whenever you say connection, it does not have to be a deep emotional something. It just means that, oh, I've spoken to you, we strike some form of acquaintance, and now we are on like a good level of communicating. That's what it means. So to be able to share the gospel to people, you should have some form of network with them so that you can do that conveniently. And also in doing that, it may not be a one-day process or something. It may take some days, some weeks, some months, and all that. You should try as much as possible to maintain the connection so that you can be able to win them over for Christ. Obviously through what you tell them and also your actions. My next point is that all blessings come from God through men to men. So you have to understand God's understanding or God's prioritization of humanity in the equation of Him dispensing His blessings. So man is very important to God, and you also have to see it that way, because whatever you pray for will not fall from the sky. It will come through a man to you. So you have to learn how to build or network with others so that in case they have something from God for you, they can do that conveniently. You should be able to build network with people. You should network with people because all blessings come from God through men to men. The third reason why it's important for people to network, Christians to network, is because they have a better reward for their labor. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. So when two work is better than one because they have a better reward for their labor. So when you network with others, these people you network with might become your business partners, it might become your prayer partners, it might become your word study partners, it might become a lot of they might hold certain positions in your life that will help you to gain a better reward for yourself in terms of your spirituality, your productivity, whatever it may be, academics, whatever it may be. It is important that when you network with people, these people in turn help you to, gain a better reward for your labor. The fourth reason why Christians should network is the ability or the opportunity to serve. Now, when you network with people, you gain the opportunity to serve in their department. Let's use the church, for example. So I network with let's say the choir leader, the pastor, and all that. So I'm able to serve now in the church. You don't necessarily have to do that. It doesn't mean if you don't network, you don't have the right to serve. No, but in your line of servicing or serving, you will have to network. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you network so that you can be able to serve in that department or in that church. The fifth reason is to help shape one another. Help shape one another. Christians, we should network so that we help shape one another. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 27:17, if I'm right, that as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens another. Right? So you have to network with others because they may be able to shape you in one way or the other. Now you have to understand, you are networking to be shaped by another person. So as iron, you should network with what? Iron. Because when iron and wood comes into contact consistently, the wood will get hurt and the iron will become blunt. So you should get the relationship. The sixth, which is the last, is for good counsel or for counsel. The Bible makes us understand that in the multitude of counselors there is liberty. Right? In Proverbs 15:22, it says, plans fail for the lack of counsel, but where there is counsel, they may succeed. So counsel is very important, advice is very important. So you should network with people usually older than you, people in your field, people in the same space of work or whatever. You should network with them so that they can give you good counsel as to how to leverage your business, your spiritual life, your academic life, whatever it may be, you should create an acquaintance or network with people for all these reasons. To conclude, I want you to understand that networking is a connection, not a competition. If you focus on the competitive aspect, you realize that you are doing it for fun, not for growth. And as Christians, we are networking, or our network should be with purpose. And we do that to grow, to serve, and to glorify God. So we should limit it to that understanding. We shouldn't deviate from it and see it as a green light to do what the world does, because we have been called out of the world and we are not encouraged to meddle with the things of the world. Some people in the world network because they want a one night stand. Some people in the world network because they want to manipulate people. That is not what we see networking as. That is why I took my time to give us some of the advantages of networking. So if you've built a connection with someone and you realize that you're not enjoying any of these benefits, I think it's a good start and a good indication that you end that kind of relationship. However, if you are seeing these goodies in your networking, it is a green light that you should go on and create networking connections with other people as well, especially for the many benefits that you can derive from them.